Hey friends, today let's try to navigate to dotnet.microsoft.com website, and there is a small tutorial called C# in browser. Let's try to explore that, and let's try to manually and practically do that in this video.
So let me open my Chrome browser here, and in the Chrome browser let me open dotnet.microsoft.com URL. So in this website you will find everything related to .NET. Even if you want to explore .NET, or if you want to read the documentation, or if you want to download .NET into your local, everything you will find it here actually. So in this channel I will try to mostly focus on the programming side of it. So let's try to make yourself comfortable to watch all the videos so that you will get most out of them. So as I said, in this video, let's try to explore this C# in browser tutorial. So here, once you navigate to this learn menu, and inside this menu, there is one tutorial or one submenu called tutorials and courses and more. So let me hit that. Once you hit that, here in this first blade, you will see there is something called C# in browser tutorial. So now we are going to explore this tutorial in this video. So let me do one thing. Let me click this panel here to open this. And this small browser tutorial has around 7 steps to try in the browser and to make yourself comfortable with .NET or C#. And the step one, as it says here, it's a .NET console application. So firstly, what is console application? So console application is nothing but like a application which will run in your command line. So for example, in your local system, you have something called CMD, right? So this is called command prompt, right? If any application, if you can run on this command line and you can supply some commands to it to make your functionality work, then that is called a command line application or a console application in terms of .NET language. So if any application, if you can open on in a browser, for example, if you go to browser, you can open any application, even YouTube, right? So all these applications which are running on a browser are called web applications actually. So now this console, whatever you are seeing here, it will actually indicates that write something onto command line. So console means command line, and write this one, hello world. And in the first step, this is what it is getting discussed here. So this is a .NET console application written in C# and run the code. So as I mentioned, we are going to focus on this tutorial which meant for browser. So you no need to have a integration, I mean IDE, that means right, integrated development environment. So in .NET, if you want to work or if you want to create any kind of application, it can be console application, it can be web application, it can be mobile, whatever it is, you can open a Visual Studio IDE or Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code IDE, right? So on this IDEs platforms, you can do your development. But this tutorial runs in a browser also. So they have integrated this panel here, which helps you to execute this .NET or C# code directly on the browser, and it will show the results here. So now here we are simply passing hello world string. So how I am able to say string? Everything which is inside double quotes are a string in .NET actually. So we are running this code which will simply print this hello world onto the console. So when I hit this run code, you can see it is compiling the code. Compiling the code means take this code and convert this code into machine understandable language and then execute it. So once it executes, you can see it printed hello world here. Now let's navigate to the step 2. So here what it is explaining is it is explaining about the strings. So try modifying the code whatever you are seeing here, and instead of using this hello world, try to use like hello Anna or even hello Mahir. So let me do one thing here. So in this string, instead of hello world, I am using hello Mahir. Now let me hit this run code. It should print hello Mahir onto console. As you are seeing here, it is printed hello Mahir. Now let's navigate to third. So strings are that way it works. So you can modify the strings. Whatever you keep inside a double quotes, it's a string. In the step 3, let's try to understand a little bit of variables. So variable is something like a placeholder that holds some data. For example, if you want to hold a number 1 in one placeholder, then you can declare a variable to it and you can place that data or number into that variable. So similarly, let's assume you want to store some variable or some string into some placeholder, then create a variable and place that string into that variable, and you can use that variable in your code wherever you want. Let me practically explain you this here. So here, if you see this code, we are declaring a variable called name and we are storing this string data into that variable. And finally, in the console.write line, we are printing hello, this is string, plus is concatenation. Two strings we are adding together. So let's say this is hello and this is Mahir. So it will become hello Mahir. So plus is concatenation. So we are concatenating this name and also we are concatenating this exclamatory symbol. Let me practically show you this. So to declare any variable in .NET or C Sharp, you should use this data type first here. So use this data type here and here declare your variable. So as I said, my variable name is my variable name is name, and in this variable I am storing data called Mahir. And now here what I am doing console dot write line. Write line is a function, and to this function I am writing hello. Then plus I want to take the data from this variable and append that with this string. So I am using plus name, okay, and then plus, I mean that's it, okay, hello name. So this should print hello Mahir. So now let me hit this run code. Expected var in this code. Okay, so it is expecting a var. So if you don't know the data type of any particular variable, then you use this var. It will automatically define a data type. Even you can use string also here, but for some reason it was not working because it is running in a browser, right? It may be limited to use only var as a data type declaration here. So that's fine. Var means like a variable, any kind of data you can place in a variable. Once the data get placed there, it defines the data type. So string you are placing it, so it will become a string type. So now when I hit this run code, it will execute and it printed hello Mahir. And if you want a space here, use space here and hit run code, it will again print hello Mahir. Okay. So now let's navigate to the fourth step. So you understood what is variable. You created a variable and you placed data into it. And you even used it in the console.write line. Now in the fourth step, we are going to understand string interpolation. What it means. For example, here I am taking this data in a variable and also I am taking this data. I am using plus symbol to combine those two. But using string interpolation syntax, you can make it more readable. What you can do it is, here before the string, you can use a dollar symbol and you can remove this name variable and you can take that name variable completely into the string. So inside double quotes, I am using this curly braces and in the curly braces, I am using my variable name. So it gives more readable. There is no plus symbols to define this concatenation, right? You're directly writing hello, then name variable. So whatever you have in the name variable, print that. So to make sure this string interpolation to work, make sure you add this dollar symbol before that particular string. Now let me hit this run code. It should print the same result, right? So this is called string interpolation syntax actually. So let's navigate to the next step where we discuss about methods. So what is method? Method is nothing but like take some data and perform some work and return back something. Sometimes it will return back something, sometimes it will not return back. So if I create a proper playlist for C Sharp, then you will understand more about methods. For now, think that it will take something and it will do some logic execution and it will return back. So here, what I am doing, if you see this code, it is printing name as like this, right? So what if I want to print name this in upper characters? So what we can do it here is name is a string, right? So on top of string, I can use dot and you can see the intelligence. There is something called to upper method. So if I use this to upper method, it is going to take a string value. If you see, it is going to take a string value and it will convert into the uppercase and it won't return anything back for you to assign it into some other variable. So it will simply take that string, name string, that means Mahir, and it will convert that to uppercase and that will be appended to hello. So it will finally print hello Mahir in bold character, I mean in capital characters. So let me practically run this code and see. Now you can see it printed Mahir in upper characters. Okay, so now let's go to the next step. Here we are talking about collections. So collections are nothing but like a collection of data. So here we have only one data, one string stored into one variable. So what if I want to store multiple strings as a one variable? So in that cases you should use collections. Collection is like a collection of data. So what I can do here is, if you see this code snippet, I can create this name variable as a collection. So for that I can use this new keyword and I can mention this brackets that will define like it's a collection. Now how to store data into this collection? For that use this angular braces, I mean flower brackets, and here I can pass like maybe Mahir is one name and one string, and then Wafa is another string, and then maybe Asi is another string. So I am passing three strings into one variables. How it is possible? Because of the collections. And if you see here, as is okay, let me do this. And if you see here, you can use this for each loop to iterate over those strings. So how we can use the for each loop is, let me practically explain this here. So let me remove this console. For each, okay, in C sharp everything should end with a semicolon. So let's add that too. And here this for each loop is, this is collection, right? That means collection of multiple data. So each data it will take and it will iterate something. Inside the iteration, you can do whatever you want to do. For our simplicity, let's do the same thing, console.writeLine. That means take that name and print that name onto the console. So for each is a one kind of a keyword syntax that will help you to perform the loops actually. Okay. So what I can do here, here I can write my code for each, then where take name. Let me do this like names is my variable name. Take name in names. So what this means, from this names collection, take each item, for example take name into this variable called name, and then finally go inside this loop. So right now I am inside the loop, and here inside the loop do whatever you want to do. So maybe I want to do console dot write line, and I will use the same string interpolation syntax here using this dollar and hello, and then here I am going to take this name variable which takes each item from that collection, and maybe I will do this, I will apply this to upper method also to convert this into capital letter. So now what happens if I run this code, it will loop through all these collections and it will print every time like hello Mahir, hello Wafa, hello Asi. So let me hit this run code and you can see here it is printing hello Mahir. Sorry, it completed, right? So let's go back here. You can see here it printed hello Mahir, hello Wafa, hello Asi, right? So that's how collections work. So that's it. Congratulations. Actually, we have successfully completed this small C Sharp tutorial which run on a browser. So quick recap. In the initial step, what we did, we simply printed hello Mahir, a string data. And in the second step, where we discussed about strings, and we came to know that whatever you use in double quotes, that's a string actually. And in the third step, how to store that strings into some variable, we have seen it, and then we have printed the same by using this plus concatenation syntax. And in the fourth step, the same syntax we tweaked it. Instead of using concatenation directly using plus symbol, we use the string interpolation syntax, and make sure to add this dollar symbol and use your variables directly inside the string using these flower brackets. And in the fifth step, we have discussed about methods that will actually help you to take something and perform some action. So here they took my name and converted to capital letters. And then finally, we discussed about collection. When I want to store multiple items or multiple data into single variables, use this collections syntax and store them. And if you have a collection in a data in a variable. That means somewhere you get a need of iterating over every item from that multiple items, right? So for that you can use this for each loop, and from that variable take each item into another variable and create that variable on the fly in the syntax here, and inside these iterations do whatever you want to do. I am doing simply console.writeLine to print that names onto my console application. So that's it, guys. Congratulations, we have successfully completed this. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got an idea. If you feel you want to try it, go to dotnet.microsoft.com URL and navigate to Learn menu, and then go to C Sharp in browser tutorial and complete it. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.